Hello everyone, welcome to the Street Crime UK YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more exciting true crime content. Today we look at a British football coach that was jailed for 25 years in Dubai after 4 small bottles of vape liquid containing cannabis oil were found in his car. He was then allegedly tasered and beaten for 5 days to make him sign a confession, his friend has claimed. Billy Hood, 24, was arrested in January and convicted by a court of drug trafficking with intent to supply. Despite being able to prove the vape liquid belonged to a visiting friend who had mistakenly left it in his car. His best friend, Alfie King, 24, has since claimed that Mr. Hood told him he was beaten, slapped and only given bread and small amounts of water whilst he stayed at the Al Barsha prison by police officers. Mr. Hood from Notting Hill, West London, told Mr. Kane he only signed a confession to the drugs charges, which was written in Arabic, because officers said if he did, the abuse would stop. Mr. Hood's mother, Breda Gugkian, 55, also claimed officers laughed in her son's face as he slept on the floor of a prison cell with 30 others and told him that if he didn't sign the confession, you're not getting out of here. Mr. Kane, who's a football agent, told the Sun that it's been bad at Al Barsha. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. When they took him to the CID drugs unit, they beat him for an entire 5 days. He told me that police tasered him. He was basically tortured and put back in a cell with 30 other people for 5 days. Family members have said that Mr. Hood was so frightened and tired that he agreed to sign a confession written in Arabic, not knowing he had admitted to such serious crime. Police in Dubai are thought to have singled out Mr. Hood after monitoring WhatsApp messages and looking for key words relating to drugs. A week before his arrest, the friend who owned the vape liquid sent a message telling Mr. Hood he had mistakenly left it in his car. Speaking about Mr. Hood's confession, Mr. Kane said, "Billy said they told him he could go home if he signed the paper. That's why he gave in and signed that piece of paper in Arabic. He had no idea what he was signing, but he just wanted to make it stop." Speaking about her son's prison conditions in Dubai, Breda told Good Morning Britain on Thursday, "I know in the beginning they weren't good when they made him sign the statement. I know that he was in a room with 30 others sleeping on a floor with a blanket, bread and water and nothing else until he signed that statement that was in Arabic. I think he did after the 4th or 5th day. But they laughed in his face and said, well, if you don't sign it, you're not getting out of here." Breda admitted that she still had hope that Mr. Hood would be released from prison, but upon hearing her son would spend a quarter of a century behind bars, she said it completely broke her. Breda, fighting back tears, added, "It still breaks me every day just thinking about it. Just seeing his photo breaks me now." Speaking about why the vape liquid was found in his car, she explained that he had dropped off one of his friends at the airport and they had left it in the car. Police in Dubai are thought to have singled out Mr. Hood after monitoring WhatsApp messages and looking for keywords related to drugs, such as CBD. A week before his arrest, the friend who owned the vape liquid sent a message telling Mr. Hood he had mistakenly left it behind in his car. Breda said it's thought the message was intercepted because it had CBD in it. She said, "Everything we get from them is in Arabic, so we're finding it hard to translate everything. But yes, that's what they say." The ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed, was last revealed to have used spyware to hack into the phone of his ex-wife and her lawyer, Baroness Shackleton, while a custody hearing was taking place at the High Court. The United Arab Emirates are known to be users of the Israeli-made spyware known as Pegasus. Mr. Hood, who played semi-professional football for Kensington and Ealing Borough Football Club, was stunned when police unexpectedly turned up at his flat in January and demanded to search his home and company car. 4 small vials of vape liquid containing cannabis oil, CBD oil, and a vape pen were later found in the passenger door compartment. Vape liquid containing CBD, cannabis oil, is sold by high street stores in the UK and perfectly legal, although they must contain less than 0.2% of THC, which is the ingredient that leads users to getting high. Cannabis and cannabis oil is illegal in Dubai, where there is a zero tolerance to drugs. Mr. Hood appeared in a Dubai court last week and sentenced to 25 years in prison after being convicted of drug smuggling, possession and supply. His mother, Breda, accused the UK Foreign Office of providing the family with no support and made an emotional plea on Thursday for help to get Billy home. She said, "As a mother, and I know a lot of people who know Billy, please, if anyone can help get Billy home, please do. That's all I can ask from you." When asked about the case, a Foreign Office spokesperson said that we're giving support to a British man who has been imprisoned in the UAE. Breda said that she had spoken to Billy about a month ago. She added that there was a three-way call, and we can never speak to Billy directly. It always had to go through the lawyer who would connect to his brother Alex, and then we would get to speak to him. He always seemed to say, "Oh, don't worry mum, it'll be alright," but the last time that Alex said he spoke to him, he said that he felt like he was broken. Billy said in a statement released by his lawyer, "I do not smoke vape pens, cigarettes or even shisha. I'm very anti-drugs and spend my days coaching in schools with children. I had just moved into a new home in Dubai and went to go get a phone charger for my car when I was suddenly approached by police. They jumped out to arrest me, handcuffed me, and offered officers pointed tasers at me, threatening to use it if I didn't cooperate. They demanded I show them where the drugs were. I was shocked and confused and told them I wasn't in possession of any drugs. Mr. Hood said one of the arresting officers said they were interested in him from social media, but didn't take his phone or computer. He maintains there was no mention of the vape liquid on social media, but one in WhatsApp messages. Police also found a few £1,000s in cash in his flat, but Mr. Hood's employers told the police that they had paid him the money whilst his bank account was being set up. The pressure group detained in Dubai, who are representing the family, believed the only explanation for police turning up unannounced could be authorities monitoring WhatsApp and reading the message about the vape liquid. Mr. Hood was held at a police station for 4 days, where he was told if he did not sign a confession written in Arabic, he would never be allowed to leave. Family members said that he was so frightened and tired that he agreed, not knowing he had admitted such serious crimes. Speaking about her son's prison conditions in Dubai, Breda added, "I know in the beginning they weren't good when they made and signed the statement. I know that he was in a room with 30 others sleeping on a floor with just a blanket, bread and water, nothing else until he signed that statement in Arabic." When Mr. Hood appeared before a court last week and was convicted of drug smuggling, possession and supply, he was given the maximum sentence. His worried family are pinning their hopes on an appeal next week where lawyers will argue he was bullied into signing the confession and prove there is no evidence that the vape liquid was his. His brother Alex said that it had been difficult to cope with Billy's ongoing detention and the idea that he could be in prison till he's 50 years old. "You could not meet anyone more fitness focused than Billy," he said. "He has never been into drugs and does not even smoke. We never thought moving to Dubai could be a one-way ticket." Mr. Hood's best friend, Alfred Kane, said to reporters that Billy's one of the most positive people that I've come across in my life, and when I've had the chance to speak to him, he sounds like he's holding it together. But when you're in a UAE prison halfway across the world, you never know how someone's feeling inside. Speaking about Mr. Hood's time in Dubai before his arrest, Alfred said he'd been out there 2 years, and in the first 8 months I remember he came back. It gets extremely hot out there, and he came back for about 4 months as he was having the time of his life. The family are critical of the British Embassy in Dubai, who they claim have not visited Billy during the 9 months he has been held in jail. Mr. Hood's mother, Breda, said, "I've hidden myself away crying when I think of what my son is going through. It is impossible that he was involved in drugs, and my son does not deserve this, and I appeal to Sheikh Mohammed to intervene in this case. My son is innocent." Rada Sterling, founder of Detained in Dubai, said that Dubai's police's handling of drugs cases has resulted in numerous unfair detentions of foreign nationals. "We've seen people arrested and even convicted without evidence, often on the basis of a forced confession in Arabic or from some third party. Drug convictions are prestigious for police leading to promotions, and the courts do not need substantial evidence to secure a conviction." What do you think about Mr. Hood's story? Do you think there'll be any help for him from the UK? Did you know that Dubai was so strict on drugs? Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like and a share, and leave any thoughts or suggestions you have in the comments section. We love to read through them all. And if you're new but enjoy UK true crime content, then subscribe to see when our newest video releases. And as always, stay safe.